guys, it's Magic Turtle here. As you probably know, I drew a lot of superheroes when I was younger, so today I thought I would do one of those tier list rankings of every superhero I ever created as a kid. I had a lot of fun going through my old drawings, and weirdly I remembered which ones were superheroes and which ones were like bounty hunters, which ones were villains, so these are just the ones that I know were supposed to be superheroes when I created them. All the way from elementary school up through college, I guess. Okay, so here is the ranking. Let's start here. This is Crimson, which is like a character who just like had the power of red, because I thought red was the coolest color, so it must be super powerful. Gotta put him in A. Not quite S, because I didn't really come up with any superpowers. He just like had lasers. Next is Anvil, which is a character who could like slam his hammer into an anvil and turn that hammer into any weapon, which is like, is that even useful? Just keep a sword. So I'm gonna put him down in B. Then there's Vapor, who's just a guy that had the power of vapors and gases, I guess, which is like, you can asphyxiate people, you can poison them, that's it. That doesn't seem very super heroic. It just kind of seems like you're a murderer. But pretty cool guy, so I'm gonna put him in level A. Next is it just Sonic? Is that really his name? He used the power of sound to attack, which is, I've heard that done many times. I'm gonna drop him down to C. Cool costume though, very purple, like vaudeville. Shimmer Star. I got a lot of flack when I was younger for making my female superheroes very buff, because typically they're not drawn that way, and it's like, the male superheroes are extremely ripped. I stand by her thick thighs, and her power was, I don't know. I guess she had like really cool like martial arts with like magic at the end of her feet, so she'd like kick somebody, but it would be like extra kick because there was like sparkles. So I'm gonna put her up in A with the other two. And then Steel Badger, which was my Batman character, he just had gadgets. I don't know, I never really thought that through. His name used to be Steel Dingo, and for that alone, dropping him into D. Deep Freeze, which is just weird to just sort of have like a name of a food preservation method, but I remember he like, actually it was just his suit that allowed him to like throw balls of ice. So for that, I'm gonna drop him into C. He could have been B, but it's not cool that he doesn't have superpowers, right? You should have ice powers. Let it go! And Heat Wave, least interesting name ever, and his powers are fire. That's a D. This is Mirror Maiden, whose powers is like she can reflect stuff, which is just stolen from the mirror power from Kirby. That's a D. The Beast, which is just the name of an X-Men with the word "the" in front of it, so that's not great. And one of his hands is just permanently an animal hand, which just kind of seems like a disability more than a superpower. But I'm sure he could do other stuff. He could swing from vines real good. So for that, B. That's a pretty cool guy. I like it. Twister. What powers did he have? He could control the weather, just like the X-Men, except for he had one of those cool like newsboy hats, and for that, we're gonna put him in C. Also, he's just like stepping inside of tornadoes. What did you get out of that? Then there's Sun Siren. She's kind of cool. She had like the power of light. Tier A, I think. No S's yet. So these are these like magical ninjas. Impact was pretty cocool. He could like slam down energy and it would just be like, Impact is definitely A. Then Wild Card, I don't know, he had just like multiple elements. I think each hand was a different element, like fire and ice, so I don't know, that's pretty cool. I'll put him in A too. Neon had the power of neon lights. I don't know, did he like headline in Vegas? I'm not sure. To B. Geyser was just a buff version of the other two. That's a C. Lightwire, again, I don't know, she's a lot like Sun Siren, so I don't know, B, I guess? So now we got some of the lamer ones that I made when I was much younger. This little tech tiger guy. I think he has like tiger dwarfism. Is that Grumpy Cat as a superhero? Wow, for that we're gonna put him in, no, we're gonna do D. I was gonna do B, but I just can't in good conscience put something that looks that stupid in B list. And then the bird version, same stance, except for it's just like shooting like a tiny like Tesla coil electricity bolt from a feather finger. Real lame, and I can barely see this. This is just a Goku ripoff. Thidian, I think was his name. That's the strongest D tier we've ever had. This is Gizmo, who's just like an Inspector Gadget guy. D. Speed, which is just, he's got Goku hair again, but he's wearing like a tracksuit, and his power was super speed. Had I not heard of the Flash? D list. Vinyl, named after a music format, but he had tentacle powers, which like, who on earth would think tentacle powers are cool? Oh, Dr. Octopus. For that alone, I'm going to put him up in the B list. That's not bad, Vinyl. Pretty cool. Dynamite. That is not a superhero. Will you look at this person? I'm going to put him in C because I assume he just blows stuff up. And then Quam, which is like a Spawn ripoff. He once again just had like the power of magic. He was just sort of like a magic ninja. One of my all-time favorite superheroes ever made. So that's S rank for sure. Okay, I'm going to actually put Karate Rat at the end because we'll get to him in a second. Red Lightning was like my flagship superhero. Again, I think his power was just the color red. Like He had lightning, obviously, but it was red, so it was like a real cool lightning, like extra powerful. So even though I'm making fun of him, I'm gonna put him up in the S tier because red lightning is awesome. And then there's Galaxeron, which is just some sort of like cosmic mega superhero, way overpowered. Because of the OP-ness of it. Like, who cares about people like Superman who are just too powerful, can't be defeated? That's lame. So we'll just put him in A. This is Captain Spark. This wasn't even really a canon superhero in my head. Like, I didn't use him for anything. I just, like, doodled him one time when I was, like a band practice or something like that. So that's a hard D right there. Gaunt, which is just an adjective that describes a sickly person, but he was, like, a cool futuristic guy with, like, technological enhancements, but for the name, that's a C because you need to eat something. Zyver, which was like the really cool like sci-fi superhero with like a Samus suit, basically a ripoff of Metroid. Who does your nails? I don't know. Zyver doesn't care. He's gonna shoot you in the chest cavity. S rank. Zyver's the coolest. Now here's some characters I don't even remember. This is just like what is he? A water guy? His power is water. It's like more lame than like a Magikarp. D. This guy is ice, and he's moving his hands in the air like, hey, ho. I like the dancing. This is just an invisible person. He's a dotted line, so you know you can't see him, but I gotta make sure that you can see something, otherwise you'd just be looking at a blank page. That's D. And this is just another tornado guy, which again, I thought the wind circling around limbs was cool, but it's not. That's a D. Okay, now some of the newer ones. This was a guy named Rat, who his superpower was that he was the best at everything, so just sheer talent. He was one of my favorites at the time. I don't want you to think that these S-Ring superheroes are ones that I still think are cool. I just remember as a kid, these were the ones that I thought were my coolest ones. So, Sleepwalker. She could basically dream, and the distorted reality of dreams would leak into the real life, so she could basically do anything as long as she was sleepwalking, which is, I don't even know how that would work, but that's an S tier for sure. And then a Cult, who was like this like witchy character with a bow and arrow and like tarot cards orbiting her, and she had like ghostly spirits in these crystals that would help her. I don't really know what that means, so we're going to put that in B. Then the Human Turbine, which was an unfinished drawing. The joke was that she had like no inner ear, so she could like spin without getting dizzy. So she could like spin real fast, but also her fists would like rotate on an axis, and she could like drill into rock with just by punching it, because her fist would go bzzz. A tier. Okay, now we're getting into the Mega Mouse characters. A mutant rat, basically, with super strength and nothing else. That seems lame, but Mega Mouse was like a pure of heart, best superhero you'd get. He's the coolest. He's my number one. S rank. And then his wife, Mary Mouse, was like a martial arts expert. She's pretty cool. Then there's Rampage Rabbit, who just seems like a Rambo ripoff, but a rabbit? B. And then Junior Mouse, which is Mary and Mega Mouse's son. So just a child mouse with a yo-yo. That's D tier. This doesn't get much worse than that. Techno Turtle, kind of like a Mutant Ninja Turtle mixed with RoboCop. I don't know. And I remember like the little like hexagonal components on his shell would open up and like giant cannons would come out. I just thought he was so cool. So he's going up there with his buddy Mega Mouse in the S tier. And finally, Karate Rat, which was Mega Mouse's best friend. It's a rat who knows karate. You know who knows karate even better than Karate Rat? Just Rat. Because Rat's the best at everything. So we're going to put Karate Rat in C tier. And there you have it. There is the official ranking of every superhero I ever created from birth till now. And I don't really make them anymore. But if I did, they'd be a lot better than these, let me tell you. Okay, so thanks for watching. What do you think about my rankings? Would you give them any different positions? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. And remember, you got a superhero guy, make you on your face. Make you on your face? Are you drawing superheroes on your own face? If so, get them tattooed. Go all the way.